Hi there. This is Mentoring Moments for Moms. I'm Gail Anderson. Glad to be here today and hope you're enjoying your day. First of all, I want to just review what we talked about last Friday a little bit. We talked about eating out with your kids and making it a good experience. A couple of the things we talked about with that is developing some manners and habits with your kids slowly and carefully as they age. And then before you go out, going ahead and talking about those standards or manners that you want to work on each time. And I know somebody asked specifically last time if I would list manners. And basically that's a little bit rough to do because all of us are different. We have expectations for our kids. Our kids are different. And if I set up this great big long list of manners that you need to teach your child, that could be very daunting. And I just want you to do what's best for your family. With your kids, if you just develop some manners you want to work on, staying at the table, maybe keeping your napkin in your lap before you eat, those are big deals. And that can make a big difference in the experience of eating out as a family. So just think about those things. If you want more information, go to mycatch.me and the link is in my profile. You'll be able to see all my past scopes. So I do want to mention here that this Friday, I'm going to take 10, maybe 15 minutes and answer a few questions. So if you're watching, if you're a regular follower and you have some things you want to ask about, please go ahead and write in your questions this week, or you can write them in on Friday morning. So I'm kind of excited about that. This is just a great way for me to connect with each of you, and I'm also able to connect you with each other. And I love that. So, mentoring moments for moms. Today what we're going to talk about is spending a little bit of one-on-one time with your kids. Now, normally when we have multiple kids, we spend time with them together. Everything we do is en masse. But when you individualize your kids and spend specific one-on-one time with them, it pays great dividends. So I really want to stretch you on that. And if you're watching today and you already do this, I'd like to hear from you. Just say, yes, I make sure that I spend some individual time with my kids each week. At this point, I'm trying to think of when we started this. You know, most of the things we started in parenting. Thank you for those hearts. I appreciate it. If you guys like what you're hearing, go ahead and tap on the screen. Give me some hearts. If you want to share this broadcast, swipe, and you'll be able to share this with your friends. Most of the things we did in parenting were picked up along the way, or just finally realized along the way. There's not things that we did all the time. It was just one of those things that developed with our parenting. Now, the reason that I'm talking to you about all these things is so you can start them early and not be like me. Be halfway through the parenting years and think, oh, wow, this is a great idea. Wish I'd been doing this for all these years. Your kids love your individual attention. There's so much we do with the kids all together, but to individualize with them, to have some specific time with just them is absolutely wonderful. But it's something that you have to plan in. It does not just happen. Now, your kids, like my kids, will be completely different when you spend individual time with them. They will not be the same. They are it's almost like a personality swap. Whereas when they're in the mix of other children, they are fighting for attention, fighting for this, fighting for that. When you take them by themselves, they're much calmer, they're quieter, they want to talk about things they would never talk about, especially as they get to those older elementary, junior high, teenage years. My goodness, that individual time you might not think they need with you, but they do. That's the time when those really deep questions come up. When you're sitting in the car together and you're both looking forward so the child doesn't even have to look you in the eye. And he says, Mom, what does this mean? There is just so much that comes up during that time. And my husband always says that quality time happens in a quantity of time. So you have to have a quantity of time with them first in order for those individual quality times to happen. So spending time with them is wonderful. Thank you. Appreciate that. One of the things that I started doing, and this didn't happen until we had our twins, which were numbers 4 and 5, is I decided not to run errands by myself anymore. Now, actually, that's a big decision because moms like the time to just get away and be by themselves. But I realized that if I would just take one of my children out of the mix, that would change the household for my husband and make it easier on him. So that developed into me always specializing with just one child, taking them with me so I had time with them, talking in the car, talking while we're running errands, talking while we're shopping. And of course, I always made it fun. We would pick out a treat or stop for ice cream or whatever. And it was an amazing time. It's just so neat to see how different they are. They know this is special. They know that you're prioritizing them, and they love it. So your time with your children one-on-one does not specifically need to be away from the house. You can do things at the house. The big key with that is to do things that they like. I know it's real easy when we're trying to be real nice to our kids, take them out for a nice dinner, one-on-one. We think, we'll do this once a week and do it with each one of our kids. So we plan on going to a nice restaurant. Well, their real desire would be to go to a McDonald's or a Chick-fil-A that has a play place. So we need to make sure that we're doing things that they like. So if you are doing something at the house, again, do things that they like. Do they like to play with dolls? Do they like to play with Play-Doh? Ask them, is there a game you'd like to play? What would you like to do with mommy? Would you like to be in the kitchen together? Should we make something special? Who can we make something special for? So make sure that you've got a collaborative effort there in what you choose to do. So it's not just you deciding. It is nice to be able to spend some individual time with the kids while younger ones might be napping. That is a prime time. Thanks everybody for joining. This is Mentoring Moments for Moms. I'm glad you're here with us today. I'm here most weekdays. And again, if you like what you're hearing, please tap the screen and give me hearts and share this broadcast with your friends. Okay. So, playing with Legos, playing with Play-Doh, playing with dolls, doing a game, or an outside activity. I had a couple kids that always wanted to do sports, which wasn't my favorite, but I would go out and shoot baskets with them, or throw the football, or whatever, because it really says a lot to them. Relationships give out influence to the kids. I just found you last week. Oh, cool. Very cool. Glad to hear that. Here's a mom that has 3 kids, a 3-year-old and twins. Sounds familiar. When my twins were born, my toddler was 16 months, so it was almost like having triplets. Okay, back to the subject. Building that relationship with your kids gives you influence with them. When they know you care, then they'll listen to you. And this is how you do it, by spending that individual time with them. And yes, even you that have young ones, a year old, you can be sitting there and spending specific time with them, playing with their toys, watching a show together. If that's not top on my list for special times together, but it can be one of the things you do. Kids do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I know you've heard that before, but it's the same way with kids as it is for adults. So we've got to show that we care for them and about them from a young age. So listen closely to your kids, especially when you're spending that individual time. In our family, my husband would take one child every Monday, which was his day off, and spend special time with them. Do a special activity. Every once in a while, it was even a household work job, but he had time just with that one child. And I cannot believe the times that my kids remember. Funniest thing is one of my boys actually remembers asking his dad to bring him to a car place and drive a certain car. Now, he was interested in that car, but he was nowhere near the age to buy a car. But I think the impetus was he was going to get a CD player if you came and drove that car. Kind of rough for my husband, but he did it. My son will never forget that. Those individual times we have with our kids are the ones they remember above anything else. And it is really a cool thing for you as well as them. One of the ways that it helped me is, yes, there were rough times with my kids. Rough times with certain ones of them, rough times with all of them as a group. But when you're going through those difficult periods, especially as they get older, and you're continually sewing into them and spending that special time with them, that helps me as a mom to get through those rough times, because I have the good times to remember. Because very rarely do you have a bad time when you're having special time with one of your kids. So I'm just throwing this out there for you to just consider. Something you might want to start doing. And you don't have to start big. You don't have to start real long. You don't have to start every single day. Just start making a stab at it. What you can do to have some individual time with your kids. Now, this Wednesday, my blog on KirbyAnderson.com, which the link is in the profile, will be on spending special time with your kids. So I'll actually give some ideas on that. And I do want to encourage you to go ahead and get on there, see our blogs. We have a lot of information on marriage, parenting, personal development, and health. And also keep joining in. I'm sorry I'm a little bit later than I tried to be this morning, but we did lose power. So I wanted to wait till I had my internet back to be able to get on and talk to all of you. This Friday, I will be taking questions. If you'd like to go ahead and write in questions on some of the scopes during the week, that's great. Or you can just plan on getting on it Friday. It will probably be about 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I hope you all are enjoying what you're hearing, and I hope you are enjoying the adventure of being a mom. So thanks again for listening. I'm Gail Anderson, and this is Mentoring Moments for Moms. Have a great day.